First look at Overframe's special guest. We know what's happening at Jump Festa 2026. Make sure you guys smash the link, grab out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. There is a lot coming down here for the official Jump Festa Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG times. And yes, this is going to be happening on Saturday morning at, unironically, 12:15 Eastern Standard Time. So that'll be something for you to look forward to. But there is a lot with this. Now, typically there are usually 2 segments for Jump Festa, but it looks like the OCG times is going to be a lot more up and personal this time. So I'm kind of curious about this. So official card game OCG times. There's going to be a walkthrough of the Botanical Garden with Yuri. I'm honestly kind of curious about that, but you do see here. I'm assuming that this is going to be Yuri. There's also going to be animated promotional short series, Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Game Chronicles, Episode 1 of the Spirit Charmers, advanced public viewing, and cast reveal. So they are going to be going up and personal here with this, which is really, really cool. We're also going to be getting brand new cards make their debut for Charmers. Curiously enough, it's very interesting that they're putting that up front here. So we will be seeing brand new cards for the Charmers, which, I mean, we talked about this. Every time that we see something related to the Chronicles story, they usually try to push something. So I do think this will be pretty good. Yu-Gi-Oh! Information, I'm kind of curious about that. We're also going to have Yusei Fudo versus Jack Atlas. Souls clash once more. I'm actually very, very excited about that. And then the latest news about the Limit Over collection. Evidently, in the notes for this, this is going to be the first time that we are going to see what the frame rares, or the overframe rares, are going to look like for the official card game. And, you know, we've been talking about this, you know, they mentioned, hey, we'll be revealing these. Jump Festa is such an important time to the game that they have to literally put it all on the table here. Now, there is going to be host and guest. You're going to have Yusei Fudo, Jack Atlas, Suzuki Noraki, the undisclosed 4 members of the main cast of the Spirit Charmers, a videotaping from the voice actor Ono Kensho, and you're going to have Ono Mori Menzoboro from Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens and Tozunaki Yusaki Kimochi from Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains. Now, the other very important headline here, besides the Charmer stuff and whatnot, is our Predaplant guy is going to be here. Now, we did talk about Predaplants being a possibility of support coming in the future because Premium Pack, awkwardly enough, had Starving Venom support in it, which was so weird to see, but they typically will do the thing where you'll see support in one set and usually a couple sets along the way. It usually ends up being the same thing. So patterns are trackable within this game. Just look at a thing and be like, well, that's cool that we got support there. Does that mean we'll see more support further along the way? And I mean, hopefully it ends up being the case. I don't think we're going to see any more for Jack and Yusei unless they're holding back a generic card for them. I wouldn't be surprised to see it, because you can remember both Yusei and Jack both can play the Synchro Monster that is able to engage with Assault Mode. I am kind of curious to know if they are going to incorporate Assault Mode into this little showcasing of things, but to be fair, I don't really think that's going to be a case. In terms of the Spirit Charmers support, I wonder how many sets they're going to span the Charmer support out for, because at this point in time, the Charmer stuff in general, definitely, you need more than the 2 cards that you gave them from the last deck. I mean, those 2 cards were a great start for helping out the theme, but it's definitely not enough to make players gravitate towards, you know, wanting to build the deck as it is. So whatever you're doing here has to gratefully help out the selling point on the Charmers decks in such a positive way that it's going to make people actually want to pick that up. So that is kind of an interesting thing. Now, I did pull up the Predaplant stuff. Just because I was curious, how is Predaplant stuff holding up within the market? I mean, Dragostapelia is probably one of your most expensive cards at a quarter century at $6-7. Triff Overdome, actually, hilariously enough, I think this card has held kind of just like the best track record of things. This thing did have another printing, right? Yeah, it does have the secret. Even the secret rare is like $3. Triff Overdome has only ever been printed twice, which is such a weird thing to think about. I mean, this card's actually pretty solid for what it actually is. It's also got pretty good stat lines. I'd love to see a Triff Overdome retrain. That'd be so cool. There is the discussion of this guy coming back. We've been a lot of ban list speculation tossing around here lately. We see Terraforming reprinted in the special pack. We see Predaplant stuff getting reprinted, which automatically triggers the discussion for Verte Anaconda. Will we actually see Verte come back? I hate to tell you this at this point, but honestly, I'm not opposed to seeing Verte come back. He himself is not a particularly busted card anymore. I mean, yeah, $2 to $3 is okay. The Blah Gold Rare, which is probably one of the ugliest prints of a card that we have seen in existence for ages, coming in at $1, $2. I mean, it is pretty much maintained. But I mean, like, that's... If Verte were to come back, I mean, what? You used it with Fusion Destiny, you used it with Red Ice Fusion, but the amount of bricks that you kind of had to justify playing in order to play that bad card was absolutely atrocious. Oh wow, what is this? The Spinodinea? This thing is actually kind of expensive. Huh. Sure, this is actually $2 to $3 card. Was this on normal or special? You can target and face a monster opponent controls, place predator counter on it, and if its levels 2 or higher, it becomes 1. As long as it has that predator counter. After damage calculation, this card battled a monster of equal or lower level, you can summon a Predaplant monster from your deck. Okay, never mind. I see why this card's very, very good. That's solid, actually. You do have your PUR Predaplant Dragostapelia at a solid $1. The Orchid Scorpio. This card was value at one point, because what was it, during the main phase of this card was activated, this turn target one other spell and trap card and destroy it. This card was always pretty decent for being a pendulum scale that could actually eat things. So I actually don't hate that. What is this? The Predaplant little birdie? I don't even remember this card existing, but evidently it's got multiple printings. I don't know. The only thing I really remember from Predaplants was like Darling Scorpio. And you're telling me here that Darling, or, Scorpio is a 13 to 30 cent card. So that's actually kind of crazy to think about, that you can get QCR Scorpios for literally nothing. This card was also another very particularly strong piece, because on Fusion Summon this added basically anything that you wanted, and we all loved how strong this card was, but it fell short of being a relevant little piece. We also had the Chimera Phlagia, which was very cool, but as you can see, most of this is cheap. Now, I mean, we do have to go into the discussion of, what's going to happen with Starving Venom itself, because, this is the dragon. These are 14 apiece. Our next print was the Inov First Ed. Interestingly enough, the Inov First Ed versions of these have actually maintained some actual value. It's not like been totally bad for this card. It's because, Inov was kind of a mess at, the 40 cents, the dollars for the Platinum Seekers. You also do have the alt art, which actually is not surprising to see. There's also the discussion on Supreme King Starving Venom coming back, because, it did have some FTK potential along with it, but I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to pull off. And then, of course, there's the Starving Venom Preda Power Dragon, the Dark Fusion plus a Fusion monster. This was the big, super-powered, big, powerful boss mod. A lot of powerfuls there. But this was the one that they were like, oh, yeah, this is how you're supposed to truly use his power. And it's just like, well, it did fall a little bit short of initial getting off the ground, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what they got planned here. Told you that we'd have the Over Limit collection coming up here. It was the only place that they could put it, But what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys.
Patrons!
Thank you. Ah!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.